The air inside the old university library in Dakar was thick with dust and memory. Ejima walked slowly through rows of forgotten shelves, each one sagging with the weight of time. Cracked leather-bound books, rolled up maps, and unlabeled film canisters stood like sentinels of an era long buried. The scent of mildew, mixed with faint ink and paper decay, hung in the air. But he wasn't discouraged. He had come too far. Earlier that week, while filming in Senegal for his new project Ajemang, had met a retired journalist, Mamadou Diop, who spoke of an archive hidden deep in the basement of Cheikh Anta Diop University. It holds the real African stories, Diop had whispered, before the colonizers edited them, before we started editing ourselves. That's what brought Ajemang here, wearing gloves and a thin layer of hope. He descended a creaky spiral staircase into the university's archive room. The lights flickered on, casting dim shadows over cabinets labeled in French and Wolof. It felt like walking into a forgotten vault of African memory. He opened a drawer at random. Inside were photographs, black and white, carefully mounted on stiff boards. His heart pounded. One showed a group of well-dressed men and women in 1950s Lagos, sipping tea in a chic cafe, reading newspapers. Another was a portrait of a female chief in northern Ghana, dressed in rich kente and smiling with undeniable authority. And another, even more striking, captured young students in a modern chemistry lab in 1962 Kinshasa, peering through microscopes. These were not the Africa the world had been shown. He kept digging. In a worn manila envelope, he found letters from African journalists in the 1960s and 70s, letters full of frustration and defiance. One read, our photos are being replaced, our articles rewritten. We speak of rising factories. They print pictures of famine. We report peace talks. They ask for stories of war. Adiaman felt a lump in his throat. He flipped through another file labeled Correspondence 1971, Pan African Congress. In it were memos between young African editors across the continent, trying to coordinate a continent wide media network. They had seen the power of story and they wanted to reclaim it.